Welcome back student. Today we are solving back exercise of book on page number 128 to 129. Student, we have finished force or laws of motion chapter 2nd, and now we are solving questions from the book. Okay. In question number 1, an object experiences a net zero external unbalanced force. Student, it is very important. First, we will understand what the questions are trying to say. Okay. A net zero unbalanced force. Do you know unbalanced force? Unbalanced force is something that is responsible of an object to change its state. Okay. Now what the question is saying, let us try to write it first. Okay. Net force or net unbalanced force is given 0. Correct? If force is 0, that means no force is applying, we can say. Okay. Here no force is applying. Magnitude of force is given 0. But do you recall what the second law of motion says? Through the second law of motion, we developed an equation, that is net force is always the product of mass and the acceleration gained by the object. So can we write second law of by the second law we can write net force is a product of mass and acceleration, and what is given to us, that F net is 0. So we are placing over here mass and acceleration gives 0. Correct? This is given. Now student, here we are knowing F is equals to ma. Now if we are saying the product of these two, mass and acceleration, is given 0, so what do we understand by this term? Product of two term is 0. It can only be possible beta if either first term is 0, that is mass is equals to 0. It may be open either second term would be 0, that is acceleration gained by the object is 0, or it may be possible that both were 0, that is mass of an object was 0 and acceleration gained by the object is also 0. There are the three cases when we are saying the product is 0. Now here, out of these three, two are not applicable over here. Why? Because when we are saying the mass of an object is 0, can it possible? No. Mass of any object we do not consider as 0, because we are taking massive object. Okay? Though it has very less mass, but it will have some mass, so we cannot consider these two cases in which we are trying to say that mass is 0. Now only part is left is acceleration gained by the object would be 0. If the product of two term is 0, or we say if net force is 0, there would be the condition that may happen the acceleration gained by that object is 0. अगर फोर्स 0 है तो हम ये समझ सकते हैं कि acceleration that has been gained by the object would be 0. Now what do we understand when we are saying the object has 0 acceleration? What does it mean? So now I am trying to write over there. When we say acceleration of an object is 0, it is divided into two parts, student. If the object is in rest, then we can say the acceleration is 0. Obviously, if an object is at rest, it has 0 velocity. So the acceleration is 0 only. No velocity, no acceleration. Or we can say if an object has 0 acceleration, that can be possible if an object is moving with uniform motion. Correct? When object has rest, it has 0 velocity, and when object is moving with uniform motion. Now what is uniform motion? Uniform motion is a condition when an object will have constant velocity. That means constant velocity means velocity is not changing with respect to time. It has fixed value of or magnitude of velocity. Now velocity is also divided into two parts. When we say the velocity is constant, when an object do not change its magnitude as well as its direction. Because velocity is a combination of these two things. If an object will change magnitude, we say velocity is changing. If object change its direction, we will say velocity is changing. So here it should be clear, when we say velocity is constant, this means velocity's magnitude is fixed and the object is not changing its direction. Then only we can say object is moving with uniform motion. And if the object is moving with uniform motion, object will have zero acceleration. Okay student, now here the question says, what the question is saying, is it possible for the object to be traveling with a non-zero velocity? So what you have observed, here we are getting that object is moving, but here we are saying that velocity is constant, but it has non-zero velocity. If object is constant velocity, it is not zero. Zero is the only case when an object is in rest. Okay? If yes, state the condition that must be placed on the magnitude and direction. So what would be the condition for a non-zero velocity? The condition for non-zero velocity is the object's magnitude, okay, and the direction of velocity will not change. So that this is only the possible that object will have non-zero velocity. And if no, provide a reason. So there is not any instance we have find that says no. Our answer is yes, it is possible that object will have non-zero velocity when an object is having non-zero velocity when an object do not have external unbalanced force. Student, this is a very important term over here in this question that we should understand. The question is trying to understand that if velocity, for an example, if we consider if object is having 20 meter per second velocity, that is fixed. So if object is moving with uniform motion, that means the velocity will remain 20 meter per second. In every second it moves with a 20 meter in 1 second and it will not change its direction. Then object will have uniform velocity. Okay? In this question, please make it sure these two parts should be clear. If object do not have force, then only object can move with uniform speed, uniform velocity. I hope it is clear, student. Question number 2. When a carpet is beaten with a stick, dust comes out. Explain. So in this picture, student, you can see this is a dust picker. With the help of this, we can take out dust from a carpet. So this is a day-to-day activity, student. But we are try to understand this in the physics language. Okay. So initial position of carpet and dust. What was the initial position? So initially dust was on the inside the carpet. Correct? And they both are in the state of rest, obviously. Okay. So we can write dust plus carpet. They are forming a system. Correct? The dust plus carpet, initially they both were in rest. Correct? They are not moving. Okay. They were in rest position. Now what will happen? When we strike with the dust picker, okay, so this was the second condition. It was beaten. Okay. The carpet was beaten with the dust picker. So in second case, when we beat the carpet with dust picker, what will happen? Obviously the carpet will move. in the direction of force. Correct? Am I correct? This happens, student. In day-to-day activity, we observe so many times this kind of activity. Okay? So, carpet is in motion. The state of carpet will be in motion, but what will be the state of dust? Dust was in rest because they were not in the direct contact of force. The force was applied on the carpet. Due to the impact of that force, the carpet was motion, but the dust was in rest because it was not in direct contact. Okay, let me write. The dust was not in direct contact of what? Force, the applied force. Correct, student? So what do you understand? Initially the dust was in rest, and the final state also the dust was in rest. So due to the inertia of rest of what? Inertia of rest of dust. The dust was remain its state and fall apart from the carpet, separated from the carpet. Correct? And this way the dust will comes out from the carpet. This is the example of inertia of rest. Okay, student? So here, students, so many questions from inertia of rest and inertia of motion we have finished in our earlier video. You will go through with that video also to understand the concept better. Okay? Now question number 3. Why it is advised to tie any luggage kept on the roof of a bus with a rope? So here, student, you can see the picture of luggage tied on a bus. In general, we can see so many times this kind of things happen. Student, when luggage are tied, why it is needed to tie a luggage on this roof? There is a reason, student. Just we all know that if we will not tie the rope, their luggage will fall down. Okay. Now what is the physics behind it? Okay. So once again we are reading the question. We have to tie any luggage on the roof of a bus with a rope. Okay. This is the example of inertia of motion, student. Now how do we know that which inertia is applying? For suppose we know all the luggage are massive object. Okay, so we are supposing that these are M1, M2, M3, and the mass of bus is capital M. They together form a system, students. Okay, so we can write the system will contain M1 massive object plus M2 massive object plus M3 and so on. So many other luggages are there plus the mass of bus. All massive object has inertia. As by definition we are knowing, if object has mass, it has inertia as well. Okay, so let us consider the case when the bus is moving. Okay, when the bus is moving, and what happens if bus will move, all the luggage will also move with it. Correct, because they forming a system. Now if the bus is in motion, the system contains two parts, the luggage and the bus. The bus and luggage both are in, we can write, motion. Now, suppose a driver applied brake, okay, all of a sudden. When the driver will apply brake, what happens? Bus will stop. Obviously, bus will stop. Okay, when the driver will apply brake, as the bus in the direct contact of the force, the bus will suddenly stop. Correct? But what about the luggage? Bus was stopped. Correct? But what about the luggage? Luggage was not in the direct contact, student. luggage was not direct contact of force. As the driver applied brake, the brake was in bus. So bus will at the same time stop. But luggage which was not in the direct contact of force, they were remain in the state. What was their state? They were in the state of motion. So they will continue to remain in the state of motion. And this is the inertia of motion. According to inertia, do we know what is the law? If the object is in a state, it will remain in a state of rest. An object, it is motion, it will remain in the state of motion until and unless external force will applied on that. So due to inertia of motion of luggage, it will remain moving and fall sideways or fall downward, we can say. Okay. This law of physics will apply on the luggage, and we observe that whenever driver apply brake, if it is not tied properly, the luggage will fall down. Correct? This is the reason we tie the luggage with the rope, and tightly we will bind all these things. Correct? Now, what happen in other case? Suppose the bus is not applied brake, we can consider the driver is increasing or decreasing its speed. Okay, bus will increase its speed or decrease it. So that case only the same event happen, because luggage were in the state of motion. State of motion in whatever speed with the luggage was moving on, it will remain with the same speed, though the driver has increased the speed of bus. Bus will increase its speed because it was in the direct contact of force, but luggage will not increase its speed just because they were not in the direct contact of force, and they will remain in whatever speed they were moving on. And this is the reason why the luggage will fall down. Correct, student? So to prevent this, what we do, we will tie this luggage with the rope strongly or tightly, so this condition may not happen during the motion of a bus. I hope. Question number 4. A batsman hits a cricket ball which then rolls on a level ground. After covering a short distance, the ball comes to rest. The ball slows to a stop because there are 4 options given, student. Here is the ball. When batsman hits the ball, it rolls on a level ground. So we have drawn the level ground. Okay. Now when the batsman hits the ball, that means external force applied. Student, just recall, whenever the force is applied on something, it will cover some distance. Okay, and as it is given in question, it stops. Okay, here's the according to third law, we can recall one statement that third law of motion says no force exists alone. Okay, so here is the external force applied, due to which the ball start moving on. As the ball will move in particular direction, the one more force which compensate the applied external force, and what will be? That will be the force of friction. Correct? It will act in the opposite direction of force of friction. Okay, so third point is correct. Now next question. A truck starts from rest and rolls down a hill with a constant acceleration. It travels a distance of 400 meters in 20 seconds. Find the acceleration. Find the force acting if its mass is 7 tons. So now here is the picture of truck, of which mass of this truck is given. So let us write M is equals to 7 ton. Okay, now we know that 1 ton is equal to 1000 kg. So we can write the mass of truck in terms of kg. And it is also there, students, standard unit of mass is kg. So we will convert the mass of truck in the form of kilogram. Okay, now it is given the truck was in rest. That means initial velocity of truck was rest. That is u is equals to 0. Correct? Now, if it travels a distance of 400 meter, okay, so we can write distance. Where is the distance? Distance is that road. Okay, so we can mark the distance as this. This is the total distance, student. S is equals to 400 meter. Okay, and to cover this distance, okay, to cover this distance, the truck has taken total time 20 seconds. So where is the time? Let me write S is equals to 400 meter, and the time covered to complete the distance, it is given 4 seconds. So 20 seconds. T is equals to 20 seconds. Now we need to find the acceleration. Here we can also write in the diagram, or we can write in the solution. Now student, S, U and T are given. So we can use the equation of motion. That equation of motion in which S, U and T, and what is the unknown value? A should be there. So there is a third equation of motion, that is S is equals to ut plus half at square. Okay. S is 400 meter. So we will place the value 400 meter. Initial value was 0 into time was given 20 seconds. Now plus half of A is unknown, so we will place A as it is, and time, that is 20 squares. Okay, now solving this equation, we can write 400 is equals to, let me draw the partition. Okay, now 400 is equals to 400 by 2 into multiplied by acceleration. Okay, now this will be solved. 400 is equals to 400 divided by 2 will become 200. Okay, no, this is wrong. Let me correct. Yes, 400 is equal to 200 multiplied by A. Now solving these two equation, it will gives us the value of 2 meter per second square. That is the unit of acceleration. So we should write 2 of meter per second square is the given value of acceleration. Now in question one more thing is asked, that is force acting on that body or on the truck. So we can apply the equation or formula from what we have gained from the second law of motion. F, the value of F is mass into acceleration. Mass is given 7000 kg and acceleration we have known 2 meter per second square. So total value will be 14,000 and the unit of force is Newton. This is the net force. Okay student, the question is solved. In next video we will solve the next questions.